As part of efforts to ensure stable power supply in the country, the federal government says it is committed to join forces with the state governments in facilitating the shift towards increased state government participation in the electricity market as envisioned by law. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this in Abuja during the opening of a two-day National Assembly Power Sector Stakeholders Interactive Dialogue. According to him, this will require an open channel of communication to adequately plan the transition and respond to issues as they emerged. The Vice President, who was represented at the interactive dialogue by his Special Advisor on Power Infrastructure, Engineer Sadiq Wanka, said the new structure must therefore prioritize providing an enabling environment at the state and wholesale market levels and allow the private sector to lead the way across the value chain. And of course, it will require the federal and state governments to continue playing a balancing role, ensuring equity and keeping environmental considerations on the front burner.
In Nigeria, there is widespread recognition that we are underperforming across all four pillars of providing electricity supply that is reliable, affordable, environmentally sustainable, and available to all Nigerians. Indeed, by some estimates, less than 20% of Nigerians have access to reliable energy of more than 12 hours per day. 45% of Nigerians have no access to any form of electricity, and as a result, households and industry have been dependent on self-generation that is both more expensive and more polluting.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable ABBAS, while declaring the dialogue open, advised that Nigeria can look towards best practices and successful models from other countries that have implemented similar market structures. He therefore pledged to sponsor a bill to provide administrative procedures that entrench proper consultation and legislative review of process for tariff setting in Nigerians' electricity and other public services. More so, the chairman, Senate Committee on Power, Senator Inaya Abaribe, decried that despite the privatization of the power sector and the huge investments by past governments and the erratic nature of power supply in the country still persists, his co-chairman in the House of Representatives said the workshop would serve as a platform for stakeholders to explore innovative solutions to the persistent challenges plying the power sector.
Frequent disruptions in power supply and financial inefficiencies that have eroded the sector's viability. Moreover, the inadequate metering and the consequent revenue losses that have perpetuated a cycle of debt and underinvestment that have undermined the sector's potential.
From the time of President Obasanjo, a lot of money was poured into the system. Where are we? And so they now said, oh, well, maybe it's not that. The problem is the law. Because that there's an aspect of the Constitution that says that you cannot do anything if you don't come back. And then we said, okay, fine. And we amended the law. And then we have the Electricity Act 2023, which gives everybody the right to now go in and invest in that sector. And I think where we are today is that having amended that law, having given the states the power, having given anybody who can invest to really come in, and then we now have a multi-tier electricity market. I think the first step within the multi-tier electricity is what we are coming to do here today.
Therefore, it has become necessary for stakeholders to address the envisaged challenges, which is thrown by challenges facing NICE, and to chart a course for seamless transition to a multi-tier electricity market in Nigeria. We all are aware that no legislation is perfect until it's put into operation. On this note, I want to honestly appeal to everybody to come with a clear mind for us to receive feedbacks on where we are and where we are to go.
Earlier in his remark, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, blamed inadequate financing and insufficient gas supply as some of the factors responsible for the energy deficit across the country.
Talk about the Siemens project and the TCN uncompleted project to fix transmission and distribution infrastructures. We have over 100 uncompleted transmission company projects since 2001. A lot of them are 90%, 80% completion stages. But we need funds to ensure that we complete this project before we even move on to new ones. And unfortunately, for power projects, you cannot energize unless they are 100% completed.
A nation that has comparative advantage in gas finds it difficult to give gas to the power station, and we are all expecting El Dorado. It's not going to happen. The gas suppliers are not developing any new fields. So how are you going to get the gas? I have power plants in River State that are idle today, not because of machine unavailability, it's because of gas. I've not had gas in a power plant for 3 months. And here I am standing, nobody is telling me how they are going to support me to get the gas.
Stakeholders at this event, however, lamented the inability of government to provide adequate gas to aid power supply in the country. They say the erratic nature of power supply in the country is crippling the economy as private investors are now leaving the country. Annie T. Patrick, Co TV News, Abuja.